Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to F1 Total Division 3 round number 10 of the season here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I'm on my own for the time being, but Felix should be coming along shortly. But we are live, and qualifying is just getting underway. And so, as we... if you just give me a second, I can hopefully look back on the standings and give us an indication of where we are. But... I need to find the standings. So as it stands, Mihai leads with an 11-point advantage, and that's been coming down quite rapidly in the last few weeks. Obviously, he's still got a decent bit in hand, but some strong racing from Viral and Flavors in the last three have definitely narrowed that lead. Constructors is now Sauber leading, with Haas second and Williams third. Williams being jumped by both of those teams in the previous race. But it's still all very close, all very much to play for in these, in basically the second half of the season. We're only just over halfway. As Lucas takes us into the final sector of the racetrack with the 101 in the first two sectors, taking us down into the last hairpin of turn number 27. There are so many unnecessary corners at this circuit. It's absolutely ridiculous. There is not 27 corners. As that is Mr. Felix joining the call, as Lucas is coming across the line with a 29.3 as the first lap of qualifying. But yeah, I was just saying that the gaps are all very close now in the standings, with Mihai's advantage definitely being shrunk. Jules Valentine with a 29.8 there, Viral with a 128.4, go 9 tenths faster than what anyone else has done at this early stage. Action Rick with a 29.6. Dylan with a 30.3 is not going to be the most competitive time we see today. Maxi with a 30.4 as well. Then Aussie, 28.4. He's not too far from the top few, if I'm not mistaken now.
Standings?
Yeah, he's 36 points off, so he's he's sort of there. He's definitely an outsider, but you never know.
There's still some races to go. It's definitely not out of the question that you can.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking. Is obviously an outside chance. Mihai there goes into third with a 28.7.
Surprised how big the gaps are right now.
Yeah,
the top two are quite close. Then Mihai is 3 tenths away, so it's not that far. But for P3, 3 tenths is a bit. And then like Lucas is 9 tenths off pole in fourth.
Yeah.
So I would say Lucas is sort of his regular gap to pole. Just I don't know. There's no one really in between that.
Yeah, there's a few.
Of
like,
course, Flavors will go up there, I imagine. Yeah, Maxi and Dylan, I'm surprised they are so far down.
Yeah.
Must have had maybe a mistake or so in the lap.
Otherwise as well, obviously since he switched to no line, he's been a little bit, slower, but...
With the driver switching to no line, it's always very unpredictable how they do.
Yeah, but then this sort of... I feel like Saudi is one of the tracks that's not too bad for no line.
At least for me, Saudi was one of the first ones. The thing is, it's I think for qualifying, it's easy to get up to pace again, but the consistency is quite difficult because, I mean, for example, a track like, well, it's not the game anymore, but Paul Ricard, it's not punishing. If you get the braking point wrong, doesn't really matter. You might miss an apex, or you maybe turn in too early, and cut a corner, get a warning. But for a track like Saudi Arabia, you need to hit your markers perfectly. Yeah. Every single lap. If you brake too early and you turn in too early, you're gonna hit a wall and get damage. If you brake too late, you're gonna go into a wall and get damage. Yeah. So either way, it's tough in the race for sure. Flavors, there we go, goes second fastest.
Splits the top two, but still, Viral's got a fairly healthy advantage there, being a tiny bit faster than anyone else so far. I wonder.
64,000 is not a whole lot.
No, but
that's like nothing.
Flavors is closer to Aussie than he is to Viral in that position.
True.
I'm trying to remember because I did Saudi not that long ago. I think I was in the 27s. Like I think I was like low 27s.
Oh god, if I could remember, because I raced Saudi in PSGL a few weeks ago, so I should remember what I did in qualifying, but I don't.
Yeah,
I can't check for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and.
But I think I had a pretty terrible. Yeah, I think I only had the first lap and then I bottled the second and third. So I qualified 9th in PSGL F4 with a 26.7. Pole is a 26.2, which is more the pace that I would like to be at.
Well, yeah, but that's
where I think I should be at if I don't fuck up. Marcelio, top 5.
Yeah, P5, not bad at all. 3/10 off what Mihai managed. 6/10 off P1, but yeah, that seems to be pretty competitive from those top 2 at this stage.
I'll say we are currently about 2 seconds off the pace what I expect on Saturday, which I think is about normal. Of course, maybe a track like Saudi will be a bit larger. It's quite a difficult track.
A lot of commitment as well.
Yeah, you need to
like the S is taking
really trust in yourself, especially through that S section. That entry to the S section.
But then taking the S's flat is something I struggle a lot with. I can do it, but I just cannot do it consistently. And so most of the time in qualifying...
Well, maybe that's the difference, because for me it's easy. I don't even think about it, about taking the S's flat.
Interesting.
At least not until the last 2. Those are not possible flat. With, at least, well, they could be flat if you have a high wing setup, but it would be very high wing.
And those are the two I mean. I can...
Where you'd lose way more down the straights.
I mean, I've got enough turning that I can do that. I have done them flat, but I just cannot do them consistently without just dying.
I have never been able to take the last 2 corners in the S section flat. Not even close.
Yeah, it
always has to be a lift.
Yeah, I mean, depends how.
Like a small lift, nothing major, but it's not possible flat, at least for me. But then again, I am still another like second or so of the top console drivers. So maybe that's what a second is.
Yeah, just taking that corner flat. It might be PC grip as well, which might be a very small factor in taking that section flat. And it's quite a notable lift there from Viral as soon as he was fully off the throttle. But he's 4/10 up in Sector 1. Yeah, that will get him right. And he's only
Viral on for a 27 here.
Yeah, he's fastest by a bit under a 10th at the moment, but if he keeps this lap up, he can be up to, don't know, like 6/10
half
faster.
A second.
Yeah, like he's 4/10 up at the moment, but you'd think there'll be a tiny bit more time in the rest of the lap. Depends how well he nailed it.
Well, we'll see now. He's coming to the end of Sector 2.
Yeah, and there's only really 1 corner in Sector 2. But
still 4/10 up, so he's roughly matched the previous Sector 2.
Yeah, he found a little bit more time.
And that looked a pretty good exit out of the the fast left-hander on the last, well, not last year, straight lap, it's the main straight.
Last proper straight.
Yeah, into the last corner.
He just gets it stopped. And then
a little bit wide, but nothing that will ruin his lap at all.
And we'll see.
And down to the line.
That should be better.
A 27.
27.
Indeed, 27.834.
6/10 found in that lap. And now...
Aussie is up by 2.5 tenths as well, so also improving, not as much as Viral though. Marcelio up by 22 thousandths. Maybe onto
he's down.
a 128
lost a lot of time in that middle section. Then he goes wide, coming through. Turn number 22 there. It should be
just improved massively as well. 6/10 gain goes into P6. Both Red Bulls with big improvements on their second runs.
Yeah. Aussie coming into the last hairpin. He lost a lot of time in that middle sector and then ran wide. I don't know if he's still improving at all as he comes up towards the line. He's going to take the flag regardless, so he must be up a tiny bit. As he crossed the line, it's just about enough time found to put him ahead of Flavors, but there's at least another 2.5 tenths in that lap, because that's how much he was up by in just the first sector before he lost it all. So...
We've got Bazooka into the last corner now on his first lap in qualifying here. Not sure if he went out earlier in Valdean or if it's actually his first lap even out of track.
I haven't seen him out, so, but I might just not have noticed him.
Yeah, I missed the first few minutes of qualifying, I was still eating. But Bazooka, great lap by him, goes into the top 4, 28.518. Less than half a tenth of his teammate.
Yeah. Flavor's just taking us into the SS now, using a little bit of battery to just accelerate
a yellow flag for Aussie, but I think he's just slowing down to let people pass. Oh, there's no one here. Did he crash on his in-lap?
Possibly, I don't know. Flavors just heading coming out of turn number 12 there. He's a bit under a tenth up in the first sector. He's going to need a little bit more time than that if he wants to get into if he wants to be able to challenge Viral in the last part of this qualifying session. As it stands, he'll go ahead of Aussie, but he'll ideally want a little bit more than that. He turns in a little bit earlier for the chicane of turn 16 and 17, and that's going to cost his run all the way down this straight, really, as he got very out of shape as he rotates it through the second part of the chicane after hitting that wall. And it's then going to be, he is a tenth and a half up. He's found some more time.
How is he still gaining after that?
Yeah, his previous middle sector must have been rather poor.
God awful.
He's still up, yeah. Coming down into the last corner of turn 27 now. He's got Aussie just in front of him there, but shouldn't be too big of an issue. Goes a bit wide of the apex and is in the final corner, but he's going to get a very subtle toe from Aussie as he heads up towards the line. And we can see, can he find the time he needs? It's 4.5 that's found.
I would say there's easily a 10 from the final corner at least.
100%.
And that mistake in the middle sector, I don't even want to think about how much that cost him.
There is so much.
Flavors definitely has a very good chance to beat Viral the pole here.
He's gone P2 with all things being equal, a very scruffy lap. And so there'll be a lot of time to be found there. 100%. Dylan's invalidated, just coming around the lap.
Yeah, at the moment, no one is in the hot lap. We've got Flavors. Maybe Flavors is on the hot lap. He's using EAS right now. I don't think you two back-to-back.
No.
Oh, no, he's slowing down. Okay.
He only just finished his lap. He wouldn't have the battery to go back. Like, he's used all his battery on the lap. It wouldn't be possible to go back-to-back. It'll just be using ERS for a quicker in lap.
It would just be slow.
He had like 5% left. You're not
doing... Can't do a hot lap without ERS, it just won't be fast.
Yeah. You could. That'd be an interesting choice to start a lap with no battery. I'm just not going to question it. Yeah. And maybe.
Well, here we got it, Marcelio with his last run of qualifying, I imagine. Currently in 6th position on a 29.052. He's got 2 tenths behind him to Jill Valentine, 3 tenths ahead to Mihai.
Got quite out of shape through that first chicane. Yeah, he's not pushing. He's backed off. He went very deep through through turn 1, which then put him on a really tight line for 2, and then he turned in too early for that tight line that he was on, which put him on the curb, which sent him spitting out wide into turn 3, and it was all very messy, and he's backed off immediately. But he's got enough fuel in the car, seemingly, to...
Let's see. Yeah, 3.8, easily.
Yeah.
So Marcelio will go around again and try again. Plenty of time left as well. I think it's actually the first one to start on the lap again. Oh, that's Maxi. Oh no, it's Viral. He's starting lap already.
Interesting. Viral's going now, with 3 minutes to go. So unless he's fueled up for 2 runs, this will be his final run of qualifying, and he's only just starting it right at the end of the session, rotating it through 1 and 2, gets on the power with a little bit of battery as he approaches the start of the S section. This inside wall here can be very nasty if you turn in
great.
A little bit too early, but Viral got it pretty much spot on to sort of graze the wall, but not actually touch it. As he flicks it through the S's, a little bit out of shape as he touched the curb there, rotates it through the latter half, and now...
All in all should be equal to before.
Yeah, we can see...
The toe for Mihai.
Yeah, he's a tiny bit down on his personal best, but that's not the end of the world as he comes into turn 13. There's still the entire rest of the lap to regain that time loss, as he's now got the chicane of 16 and 17 to spot the braking zone 4. You can go quite deep into this corner and still be okay, as he does so, but it's too deep, yeah. Over the curb. But this is probably why he went so early, because now if he recharged the battery enough, he can just go again.
True, he can go again.
Yeah. And that is probably why he went.
Maxi is the ball at the fast chicane, and that could be the end of his lap. He's still going, I think. Of course, at 30.4, I reckon he has a lot of potential in that lap, so maybe even with that mistake, he can still improve significantly, but we'll see. As he comes to the end of the... Yeah, he's lapped by a second despite that.
Yeah. So, I mean, 30.4 definitely wouldn't be the strongest time he can do. He's 1.1 seconds up, which would only...
Oh, he's up by a second as well.
That would only put Maxi up into about P8 as things stand, so he's going to need to find a lot of time in the final sector as well if he wants to be challenging to around where he should realistically be. A bit out of shape through that final corner, though, as he blasts his way to the line. He's out of battery.
He's definitely getting impeded there by one of the Williams, which I believe That was Lucas.
Maxi's gone P7. Owise a second up as well, but he was a tiny bit further up the field before he started this lap. He goes P5, ahead of Mihai. But you'd imagine the championship leader will find that little bit more time in the rest of the lap. There's a Ferrari in the final corner, which I believe is Marcelio, who's a tiny bit down in the first 2 sectors. But this will be his final run, so he's got to take the flag out of Yaris as well. And I don't think Marcelio is realistically going to be improving here as he crosses the line. He does find a little bit of time in that final sector, but it's not enough to gain any positions.
4 tenths up, first sector alone.
Yeah, he's still got to find another half a second on top of that if he wants to be challenging for pole. He's 9 tenths behind Viral.
Also, he's not improving. He has to do another run now.
There's a Hassan and Aston coming into the final corner. I think that's Dylan, one of them. Mihai 7 tenths up, and he could be there in the fight for pole, you know. He's a long way off as things stand, 9 tenths, but 7 tenths up in the first 2.
He's too low on EIS, I think.
And it depends.
He will lose all the way to the line.
It depends how he used it on his previous lap. If he...
Yeah, but...
And we'll see.
He stopped using quite early on that straight. We'll see.
Up to the line. Mihai, the championship leader, does go fast. It's like 9 tenths on that lap. Viral is not improving. Flavors is 10.5 up through sector 1. He's going to need about 3 if he wants to beat his championship rival in this qualifying session. Aussie is also a tiny bit up through sector 1.
Lucas down to the line, currently 2 tenths up. Should get himself into the top 8 here. Indeed, P8 for Lucas. We've got Dylan to the last corner, up by half a second. And then we're already onto the pole contenders, Flavors and Aussie.
6 tenths up through the first 2 sectors as Dylan is going to come to the line, but Flavors surely now has to be the favourite to take this pole away. He's got a 6 tenth improvement in the first 2 sectors. Aussie's only up by 1 tenth, and he's a lot further behind as well. Flavors into the last corner, just if he spots it right, he goes a little bit too deep, but surely...
He did the same last lap, this won't cost him anything.
He's not going to lose to his Delta. He made the same mistake on the previous lap. Flavors up to the line, does get that pole with a 27.5, half a second found on his final run, and surely there's going to be no one able to challenge him now. Aussie's going to be the next car to the line, but he's a long way off. He's 6 tenths to the next car. He does improve by 2.5 tenths. Yeah, but there was
he's going around very little. Bazooka's going around, but slowly, and then I think the Kaiser also already did his laps. So that means qualifying is done.
Yeah, I mean, he was never realistically going to beat that time of Viral, was Aussie. He was, 6 tenths off it. Flavors with a very nice lap at the end there. Despite a couple of, went wide at the last corner, but he made it work. At 1:27.5 is your pole time. 2 and a bit tenths over Mihai, and then Viral only being 3rd in the end. I think he'd be quite disappointed with that, in all honesty, with how far ahead he was.
He looked so strong early on, but both Mihai and Flavors fought master. Well, we knew Flavors had a lot of time in the lap. Yeah. I didn't see Mihai's lap, but obviously he also had a lot of time in that lap. We've got our usual top 3, you would say. Our 3 championship contenders, Flavors, Mihai, and Viral. Aussie also thereabouts. So it really does mirror the championship standings quite nicely.
It does, apart from the fact that Mihai is obviously leading the standings for the time being.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same order, but it's sort of the same situation. It's Flavors, Mihai, and Viral up there, and Aussie a bit further behind.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. This is a race that definitely comes down to battery management, assuming they all stay in a train. But
battery and tires, yeah.
Yeah, tires is quite a factor here as well, and Mihai chews through both of them. So
this is a definite one-stop race.
Yeah.
But
the tires tire wear can be a little bit nasty.
Yeah, you have to do a little bit of tire saving. So I'm interested to see, because you don't gain nearly enough time on a fresh tire to make a 2-stop viable in terms of getting back towards the people who are one-stopping.
Unless you get safety cars, which are very possible.
Yeah, true. Very possible. Obviously, my strategy talk is always assuming no safety cars.
Yeah.
But a one-stop is at the start of the year I could not pull it off. Now I can pull it off easily with like improvements to my driving and setups.
Yeah, just learning how tire works.
But I'm interested to see now how these guys handle. I can't remember. We had Saudi last season as well, I believe. Surely.
No, I wasn't there by that point. I never did.
And I can't remember if people 1 or 2 stopped in. Well, one stop for sure in at the front of the Div 1, but maybe lower down. We didn't have Saudi actually, no.
Do we not?
Damn.
I mean, if we
I would have
did,
thought we definitely
if
would have
had done
Saudi
it, it was
for
before
both
me.
seasons. Surprised by that.
Out of the
Saudi is
24,
a
like,
nice
out of the
track.
24 tracks, you chose 18 of them and not Saudi.
Yeah, like you only have to pick
Yeah, there's only six off the
six
track.
tracks you don't do
Well,
twice.
plus mystery as well.
No, seven. Yeah, because
Yeah.
of mystery.
Yeah. So 7 tracks, and you managed to have Saudi off it and China on it. That's just criminal.
Ah, well, you always have to think about how often we do it.
Yeah.
It's always once or
but-
twice a year. But the fact that Saudi isn't a 2 times a year track this year is a criminal decision by me and the lads.
Yeah. Everyone on mediums. No one has even thought about the hard tyres, which makes sense because
Yeah, checks out because the hard tire is by far the better race tire.
And
So
stick a
if
safety
you have an
car
early
that
safety
wide,
car,
then-
it is a very, very,
Yeah.
very viable strat to pit from hards immediately and do a hard to the end.
Yep.
The medium, it's faster for maybe 3 laps.
Yeah, and it depends what. Yeah, so
I
Flavors
feel like I
has
say
gone
that
too
like
hard.
every track at this point.
Pretty
It's
much,
sort of sad.
Like, and the thing is, they tried to make the strategy interesting by increasing the tyre wear, but all they've done is made it worse. Like, rather than a comfortable medium hard, like,
Yeah,
rather than a
they made it
comfortable
more
medium hard,
frustrating.
they've made it a difficult medium hard. But
The
then
strategy
it's-
is now more interesting,
they've made the hards
but
just so OP compared
not
to
enough
previous
to
games.
overcome the frustration.
Yeah. Anyway, this opening lap will be interesting. Depends who can get themselves into what position early on. Here you go, though. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers in Saudi Arabia. It's lights out, and away we go viral. Does seem to have got a pretty good start there as he pulls alongside Mihai. Flavors is clear, they're into turn 1. Mihai's going to think about having a look on the inside, but it's all as they were. There's a bit of contact. Viral and Mihai tangling through turn number 2. They've all seem to have made it through the first couple of corners. There's Action Rick, who's got off at turn 1, side by side. Aussie thinking about the inside of Mihai, who goes wide, and possibly picking up a first track limits warning of the race. Otherwise, a Marcelio side by side through the S's as the Ferrari gets ahead, but they all, Marcelio going slightly wide there, but they've all seemed to, apart from Action Rick, have made it through pretty much unscathed. Flavors leads by 0.8 of a second, with Viral now up into 2nd place, Mihai in 3rd. But, you know, as a start at Saudi goes, that was fairly on the tame side. Owais and Lucas possibly looking to battle here, but there's going to be nothing that comes of that. Owais did go slightly wide at the hairpin of turn 13, but
And that's a chance for Lucas.
he's going to try and go for it again. How much he's prepared to burn at this early stage of the race. Owais turns his battery off. Lucas is going to burn and go for it. He's going to pull to the inside and should be able to get ahead. Although, Owais does take the line around the outside. He goes a little bit too deep, trying to carry too much speed. And Lucas does go through now.
Oh, Dylan
Dylan
just tapped the
trying to get
wall.
involved. Does tap the wall, but he's not going to be close enough to go for the move on Owais. And they say mostly as they were. Marcelio has dropped the DRS to
Oh,
the guys in
ascend
front.
from
Ascend
Owais.
from Owais to move himself back up into that 7th place. Dylan almost being overtaken by Maxi because he got held up by this fighting. Here goes Maxi on the inside line trying to take the place into turn 1 up into 9th. And I think he is going to get that done. Dylan breaks late, turns in, and I think he's made that through. Marcelio just got a straight 3 seconds for corner cutting through the first chicane. I don't know how he's managed that pretty much on his own. He's got damage on the right-hand side.
Oh,
of
Action Rick
Marcelio.
again.
Yeah, Action Rick's round. Marcelio's missing his right-hand end plate.
I saw him
Oh,
ghosting another way
Mihai!
straight.
Mihai goes spearing off. He's just about kept it down the wall, but he's gone off on the exit of turn number 10 to 12 there. It's 3 corners all in one. Basically 10. No, look.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at Mihai, I'm laughing at turn number 10 to 12.
No, look.
I love this
Look
track.
at the Saudi track map and look at turns 10
27,
to
I think
12.
it's 27 corners,
It's
right? It's like 3
27.
of them are real.
Look at turns. Look at the track map. Look at the end of the S's. Turn 10, 11, and
Oh,
12.
well done, well done.
Goes into
Another
the
one.
wall. And so far we've had no
Loses the
safety
wing and
car.
drops down behind the Kaiser into P12.
But look at the Saudi track map. Turns 10 and 12 are all the same thing. 10, 11, and
Yeah,
12.
I know, like, it's like one corner gets like 3 corner numbers each, and then
Yeah.
things that definitely are not corners also get a corner number.
Like turn 25.
And that's how you can say you have the
26.
most corners in Formula 1, even though your track is like 95% flat out.
Yep. Viral's in the DRS, but obviously Mihai's spin means that the top two are pretty much in a league of their own. But Viral's not close enough to go for a move. Yes, Lucas and Marcelio going side by side, with Always not too far in front of them. Marcelio on the outside is going to try and get that place back, but he goes a little bit too deep, and Lucas goes back through.
Oh, great exit though by Marcelio, or did Lucas let him through?
I think Lucas let him through there, but I'm not really sure why.
Why?
I don't know.
Didn't do anything wrong, did he?
No, not that I saw. Like, Marcelio just
ran
wide.
It shouldn't have been an illegal overtake for anything.
No, don't know. That's
weird.
A little bit weird. Yeah, so Flavor's holding on.
The top two also blocked away from us in the field, of course, with Mihai's. Yeah, well, Mihai was already just hovering about 1 second away from him, so he was struggling to kill onto the ES.
And then.
So maybe was pushing quite hard to stay with him.
Quite possibly. It was a weird spin how he went around, because he kind of lost it, and then he kind of lost it at the second go.
Oh, and that's Dylan around, and Mihai has been taken with him. Dylan went into the back of Maxi through that chicane, got loose himself. And then Mihai won collected by him. Mihai has got damage now, and I believe Dylan actually got away without damage. But it was all caused by Maxi, who, well, not in any bad way, just sort of turned in a tad too early, tapped the inside wall. That slowed him right down, as Dylan was literally a tenth or so behind him.
It's disaster for the championship leader. As now,
Dylan went into Maxi, and Mihai went to
Viral.
Dylan.
His two rivals are fighting for the race lead, as Viral's going to try and go to the inside to move up into the race lead, and all of this while their main, these two, and then their third championship rival down in 10th, scoring 1 point as things stand. And if
it's a great situation right now for Flavors and Viral. They're fighting between themselves only.
Mihai and
they've gapped Aussie and Bazooka by 2 seconds. Bazooka, by the way, up in 4th right now.
Yeah, he's having a
great
good
start to his race.
He started in 5th, was it?
I believe he was 5th on the start. He's had a good qualifying, a good start.
Just got past.
Settling into a rhythm now.
Didn't crash, unlike Mihai.
Good to see.
That's the main thing. Just didn't spin off. And so he gained that place on Mihai. Mihai now at the back of the field, having pitted for a set of the hard tyres. The Kaiser's gone on to another set of mediums. 3 seconds for
that's
Dylan.
Always.
Always, yeah. I think I noticed a little bit of damage there on the left-hand side of his car. Yes,
definitely. He had a spin on the exit of that long left-hander.
Yeah.
And, went into the wall at speed, and the front wing has been broken.
Yeah.
So another victim
for Flavors
of the tricky streets of Saudi Arabia.
But still no fatalities.
Actually, are these streets? Is it a street circuit, or is this a...
Yeah, it's a street circuit.
It feels like a street circuit, but I don't know.
It's it is a street circuit, but I think I think it's like some's purpose built. I'm not.
Okay.
Definitely there are streets for sure. It is a street circuit by net.
Because there are no like road markings or anything like that in Monaco or Baku, which like why that's easily identifiable as a street circuit. Flavors had a look up the incident right with turn 1.
And even Singapore
but
as well,
he's being patient. I mean these two really, as long as Aussie doesn't catch back up.
Yeah.
They are in a very comfortable spot. They could just wait until the last lap, essentially, to decide who wins this race.
They're possibly in undercut range is the only risk.
Yeah, they probably want to get a move on and get further away from Aussie and Bazooka.
Yeah,
then they will really be safe.
Oh, Flavors hits the curb! It's so easy to do. He's gone on the curb and he's gone straight on. And now it's 1.3 seconds from him to Viral. And Aussie sits half a second behind him. That's such an easy mistake to make. So common to see. And the first victim of that curb today is one of the two.
Won't be the last.
Yeah, he's the first, not the last, but is one of the two fighting for the race win and for the championship. Now he's going to want to burn as much of that battery. He's got a lot more battery than Viral has, which hopefully will allow him to get back in. Someone's gone off there. That's a Red Bull. George Valentine has gone off through the S's.
Off in the middle of the S's, and I think he has big wing damage. Yeah, big wing damage for Valentine.
Flavor's going to be pushing and pushing with all that battery that he's got saved. Viral's doing the same. They're both burning everything they've got to try.
I think he will just about get the DRS here if he gets this last corner right. Because the checkpoint is just after it.
But he's just about going to be okay.
Yes, he's gotten himself into DRS range. Also gapped Aussie in the process. As we've got Lucas and Marcelio once again side by side to the last corner here. He needs to be having a great fight for P5. As Maxi is now caught up to the back of them and wants to get involved. Lucas left without DRS, and that means he loses the place to Marcelio and Maxi. Maxi now up the inside of Marcelio into the first corner, tries to get 2 in one go. And he has the later braking. He's now got the outside line and maybe the better exit out of the chicane. Marcelio, no, he's still there. They're still side by side into the S section. But I think Marcelio is a bit further behind. He's still going to go up the inside there. Dylan retires in the pit lane. Marcelio goes clean around the outside, but into the barrier there as well, ever so slightly. And Lucas pushes his way through the S's. What a battle this is turning out to be. Lucas backs out in the end. Marcelio, though, with a great defense all the way from the first chicane into the S section, holding on for 5th place against Maxi.
The huge important for Flavors is that even after he got the DRS, he then had still a decent battery advantage over Viral, because Viral buttoned his entire thing trying to get him out of DRS, and Flavors still had, and so what could have happened was Viral ended up with a huge battery advantage because Flavors has burnt his entire thing trying to catch back up, but then he tried to get him out.
Oh, Aussie's joined the fight. He's got DRS on them.
Yeah, he definitely has, because. And Flavors.
How's Flavors got this much EAS again already?
They were both in through the entirety of Sector 1. They both had about 80.
That explains how Aussie is caught up.
Yeah. And they were both about 80 coming out of it.
It is quite nice around here. You can recharge a lot of EAS to the S's, but just dumping it in none and not using anything. And you don't lose much, if any, time from it.
Yeah.
And it's just 3 EAS, as we've got Flavors and Rival now side by side in the first 2 corners.
Fighting for the lead.
And side by side into the S's. Surely one of them is going to back out.
And they're fighting for the race lead at this early stage. They're the championship rivals. They don't need to be doing this. But they've made it work, so fair play to them.
I love it.
Yeah, it's not a battle. Going side by side into turn 4, it's not the sort of battle you should be picking on lap 7.
No, please, keep picking those battles. Love it.
It's
We've got Bazooka in the fight now. It's a 4-way battle now for the podium places.
Yeah.
As Bazooka is now in the DRS range. Aussie is right up the back of Flavors.
In the position that those two are in, with Mihai being down in 10th, having pitted already, I don't think...
I think if I saw one of my VNT guys doing that in a team event where we're fighting for a championship, I'd probably smack them over the head.
Yeah. If someone did that to me, I'd be... if I was in that situation where the guy on the inside kept sticking it when we're both fighting for the championship on lap 7 when our rival's down in 10th,
yeah, if you do that on lap 25, I'd probably still smack you because there's like 3 DS zones coming up, but on lap 7...
on lap 7, what are you doing?
As a commentator though, I love it.
Yeah, love it, of course. It's great, it's a great watch.
And here comes Flavors now with more orthodox overtake. With the DS up the inside into the last corner, but now that means Viral
compromises line. Viral's going to get the switch back. He's not quite got the exit that he might have hoped for, but it should still be more than enough with a DRS as well to pull back around the outside.
Flavors trying his best to hold on all the years used down the straight, but still it's not quite enough. Viral pulls ahead, heading into the braking zone and reclaims the lead of the race.
And obviously if these two keep squabbling so much, Aussie and Bazooka are there. But as Maxi and Marcelio are going side by side through turns 1 and 2, as Marcelio again gets the better exit on the inside and just holds that place. And keeps in P5. Obviously, he does have that 3-second time penalty, which is going to cost him quite a bit.
Viral has built himself a nice little gap to Flavors to the S's. Maybe Flavors made a little mistake somewhere. Viral could try and make advantage of that and get him out of the ES range now. Maybe run away with this race, but...
I highly doubt he will.
Nah, he won't get another 10th down here, I think.
No. And even if he did, Flavors would then burn for the entire straight and close back up. But it's just an extra lap where, realistically, on this occasion, Flavors is not going to pass Viral.
It doesn't really matter who passes who until like lap 23.
But it's just another lap where
the only thing that Flavors needs to do is make sure he stays second at least, and the same goes for Viral. Stay in P2. As long as you're in P2, passing the car, leading a train at Saudi, easy. Literally, like free. The issue comes when you're further towards the back of the train, like Aussie and Bazooka are now. Quite simply, the car ahead of you also has ES. The best thing that can happen for Aussie is that Flavors gets really close to Viral, so he either has to overtake Viral,
or slow down.
Yeah, so then Aussie can sit on Flavors, and maybe also if Aussie and Flavors are both close to Viral, they can just both overtake him, and then Aussie is in P2.
Yeah, for sure.
For Bazooka not in 4th, it's even more difficult. Like from P3 downwards, it's already difficult, and then as you get to the 4th position in the train, it becomes near on impossible to do anything.
We're not far out from the pit window now. I'm just...
Lucas is already in. We definitely are in the pit window. It's a bit early, but you can go to the end from here.
I would be thinking more like lap 11, but they could definitely go like now or next lap.
Yeah, lap 11 is the, I think, the lap that gets suggested by the game as well. If you try one stop, Maxi has got big damage, I think, because he's slowing right down. I can't get a good onboard, or maybe just messed that corner up completely. Nope, no damage, he just messed that corner up completely. Okay. But you can go as early as lap 7 if you have great tire management and make the end.
Someone like Bazooka might just fancy it because he's down at the bottom of the train. Might as well go.
I think if I was Bazooka in this position, I'd definitely pit this lap because also I've got my teammate ahead of me. True. So if Flavors decides to pit and
Flavors goes to undercut.
Yeah, and then Bazooka can be screwed over because maybe if Flavors already has got long and he has to go even longer, he'll be undercut and out of DRS range. He's not going to make that back up most likely unless they keep battling like they were in the first stint, but it doesn't seem like that right now. They're being a bit more calm and measured in the overtake. So Bazooka, he thought about it, I think, but not yet.
So the early stop we'll get from these leaders, as Jules Valentine has gone off again, but the early stop from these leaders will be lap 10, which is a much, lap 10 you will easily make it to the end. From that point, you just might have slightly worse tyres in the last few laps. But
lap 10 is very reasonable. Lap 12 is the absolute latest that makes any sense.
Yeah,
and that's already very late.
Otherwise, into the pit lane?
I would probably go around lap 9 if I was doing a normal strat. But I think for these guys, they have to go a bit later since the tyre wear is worse. So if they go too early,
so wing change for Owise in.
Yeah, I think he smashed it off at some point on his own.
Yeah, so that's gonna really cost him in any fights that he might have been trying to have.
Yeah, he's coming out in 10th, I think. Yeah, because he cuts the first corner, he's still ahead of the Kaiser.
Yeah. Ooh, I just cut to Action Break.
About 3.5 away from Lucas.
Action Break's
but we have got a yellow flag.
Yeah, that's Action Break. I literally just cut to him and then saw him going slowly, bringing out a yellow flag. So at the moment when these leaders pit, they'll be in a very nice window in P6. Because Mihai's quite a long way behind.
Yeah, that's true. There's a really nice window for the undercut here. Big gap between Maxi and Mihai, so even more reason for Bazooka.
Everyone except Flavors has the pit light on right now. I think they've all got it on. So I think they're all thinking about the stop.
Pit light?
Like, yeah,
Can you see how...
the blue thing on the HUD. To say that...
Oh!
Yeah, Viral's in. They're all in
bar Bazooka. Exactly what I said last lap. He can get fucked over so badly here with his teammate ahead of him. And now he has to overcut them all.
Yeah, he should have gone.
That's going to be so tough. Because, they will have amazing clean air and they'll get DRS to each other.
Yep. Yeah, it's...
Of course, Marcelio now gets ahead of all of them, and so does Maxi, but that's only for the moment, since they also have to make a stop.
Maxi's in as well. So Maxi's
double second stop, but I think he was far enough away from...
No, he
should be fine. A little hold.
Yeah, I don't know why the game doesn't move them out of the way, because they were still standing there for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, that should not realistically be a double stack.
Viral's in the wall! He's hit the left side of his end plate off at turn 4. He's honestly lucky that he's not smashed the entire wheel off.
Oh, he's gone off.
Onto the curb.
He's gone skateboarding.
He's going to move through. He's got to rejoin safely.
Oh, that rejoin is diabolic.
And now
he's so lucky. Aussie saw it.
Aussie has to give it back. He's got an illegal overtake because he overtook him off the track. So now Flavors is in the net race lead.
All of a sudden, I reckon Bazooka's coming out the lead. And Jules Valentine with a instant at the final corner. He's had a spin, I believe, and he smashed his front wing off again, unfortunately, back to the pit lane for him.
So now
and with that mistake from Viral, and he definitely held Flavors up as well quite a bit.
Yeah.
And especially off that rejoin.
15 seconds.
It's very, very questionable.
It's 15.5 seconds from Bazooka to Flavors, so he will come out
behind. Might have worked out very nicely for him.
Yeah,
at the very least, I don't think he'll have lost DRS. But he is struggling on tires there. You could see the car, not turning whatsoever. But he's in the pits now.
And we'll see, where does he come out once once he goes through all of this, the entire pit lane is going off there. That's Mihai. It is. Mihai's gone off through turn number 22 there. He doesn't have damage, but spinning on those tires, he was already forced onto a 2-stop.
So he got a front 3.
Yeah, there you go.
They are ahead of Bazooka. Now Bazooka gets to come out.
No, they're not. Aussie's gone straight on. Aussie's gone straight at turn 1. Bazooka rejoins now in 3rd place, about 3 seconds behind Viral, despite...
How's he lost 3 seconds? That's crazy.
It's a big undercut at Saudi.
Yeah, but they had such a horrible lap. And
Mia's
Mia's out!
tired! He's
The championship leader throws in the towel.
And he was surely going to score points anyway, but he's just not doing it. Mihai is scoring 0 points, and surely that'll be him third in the championship. He's only got an 11-point lead. It's only 12 to third place.
Yeah, they just have to finish 4th or higher, and they've got him.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you look at the gap to P5, I can't quite see how to drop below 4th.
Unless we see
especially both Flavors and Rival.
Yeah.
He won't keep the championship lead for sure here.
And Aussie will score decent points, as things stand, which will... Like, as it stands, Aussie will get within a race win of Mihai. He could... It's big, big trouble for the championship leader. Big news for Sass. I was going to say Sass and Halber.
And with Viral's damage, this race win is looking very firmly in the hands of Flavors right now.
Yeah. 2 seconds.
Because Bazooka has a 1-lap tire advantage, but it's a 5-second gap from Flavors to Bazooka. So that's going to be quite a tough ask, but Viral will now be looking to hold on for P2, I imagine. I mean, well, he probably won't mind if he... I mean, it's the way to keep P2 is to go fast, the way to get Flavors back is to go fast, so
yeah,
he will just go fast, but he's not going to get Flavors, I'm pretty sure, with that damage.
I mean, Haas look pretty set to take the lead of the Constructors as well, being only 5 points behind Salva.
Yes!
It looks like it's going to be Flavors leading the drivers. Haas
the people need to be informed again who they are losing to.
If Flavors setting
Bazooka is definitely catching Viral. About 3/10 gain from that first sector. So that damage really putting Viral in a difficult position here.
And Flavors doing personal best in Sector 1, pushing to try and open that gap up as much as he can. It could be a Haas 1-2, quite realistically, in this race.
Oh, Viral in the wall again! And a yellow flag for
Lucas.
Someone coming out of this massive build. I think Lucas and Always were in that yellow flag stone when it came out. But I don't think either of them just lost massive amounts of time, so that's weird.
Yeah. But
Viral, yeah, he's struggling so much. Does he have damage on both sides now after he hit the wall on the right as well? I can't see it right now. I have a nice helicopter view.
No, he's still got
normally I'd love.
Only the left-hand side.
But Bazooka gained a second this lap.
Yeah, and Flavors gained 1.5. Yeah, it's not looking good. So this lap is a 31.8 from
Viral.
Viral is in!
Doesn't want to continue with damage. He will go to the pit lane and probably rejoin between Marcelio and Lucas.
Yeah, goes on to a second hard tire.
This also puts him in a difficult spot now if there's another safety car because, well, if there is a safety car at all, it would be the first one.
Well,
because he doesn't have any fresh tires left.
No, but he only did 2 laps on those hards, so he'll be fine. Sure.
Yeah, he could go back onto them if he needed to, but still, they won't be fresh completely.
They won't be fresh,
and he is going to rejoin, maybe even behind Lucas and Always. It could be close as he comes out of the pit lane here.
Is.
Yeah, I think literally side by side with Always.
Yeah, he's going to come out just in front. Yeah. But Viral now down in P7. So
now he needs to get a move on, get past Lucas, and maybe he can salvage a P4.
Yeah.
I think Marcelio and Maxi aren't catchable for him.
He needs
That's a weird call for him, because I feel like with the damage he was also still, at the very least, P4. And now he's going to have to push for his life to get P4.
Yeah. I wonder if he was just thinking he's more likely to make mistakes with the damage.
That could be it, yeah. Like thinking maybe I'll crash while this. But in terms of maximizing the result, the correct decision definitely would be to stay out because he had a chance to hold on against Bazooka and Aussie. And he doesn't have a chance to catch him back, so...
And
P4 was guaranteed, now P4 is a question mark. So from that point of view, it's definitely the wrong call.
I mean, like, what's stopping the Haas 1-2 at this point, realistically? Like, no one...
jinx it, but... I mean, Aussie is there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that can stop Flavors now is himself. Not to jinx it. Yeah. Bazooka is definitely within distance of Aussie that he could still be caught. But I think right now, actually, Aussie is going a little bit slower as Viral with a beautiful move there.
Yeah, very nice move.
Sold the dummy on Lucas up the inside to the last corner, and Lucas fell for it completely. Went right on sailing past the apex.
And doesn't have the battery to get him back.
Thank you very much, I'll take that position and fuck off into this distance.
Yeah.
Or chasing after Marcelio and Maxi.
Very nice fake dive bomb into that last.
Oh, Marcelio's out! He's turned in too early for the S-Sec. And running 5th in this place, and that is a full course safety car.
The lap after Viral pits as well. Viral only just pitting. Now wishes he would have gone a lap sooner, but the saving grace for him.
This is all your fault. You said what could stop a Haas 1-2. Marcelio parking in a wall, and that's really... Oh, it's a driver penalty for Owais
and
Jules Valentine, as they sped on the safety car.
That's very quick to get a speeding penalty. I wonder if the game... Sometimes the game doesn't give you all the time. Like, sometimes the game just gives you a penalty early. I've had that with illegal overtakes under safety car, where after like 2 seconds it just gives you the penalty and then takes it away.
I must say, I really feel for Marcelio. He was on for, I think, his best result of the Division 3 in general. Running in 5th, battling with Maxi. Of course, Viral was chasing from behind, but at least the P6 was very much on the cards. The Kaiser and Jules Valentine are already in.
Flavors is in. Flavors is boxing. Bazooka's going to follow him in. Does someone like Aussie take a risk and stay out? You know, Aussie's going to come in, so surely...
Okay, they will all come out of Maxi, so that won't really matter for them.
And then Maxi will surely come in as well, because he's got nothing to...
Yeah, I reckon Viral will stay out. So Viral now, when he has a 1-lap tire disadvantage, that's not too bad. He's back in the fight now, in 4th place. Yeah, so Maxi is also coming in.
Yes, so... Not too much has changed from this. I kind of would have hoped someone like Aussie would, you know, take the risk and stay out and get the track position, but... And it would have been like 1 or 2 positions that he gained. But now Viral's race is very much back alive. And Owais, his race is pretty much dead with that drive-through.
Both Owais and Jules Valentine are very far in the mud with that drive-through penalty. They'll have to serve after the restart.
Yeah.
So they essentially have to hope for another safety car. Yeah, not immediately. They have to get around once.
You can serve it on the safety car in lap if the track goes green before you come into the pit lane. You can do that.
I didn't know that. I thought you had to do a lap before.
Like when the game pops up with the green flags, I think after that point you can serve it.
Interesting. I did not know that.
I've seen that.
But yeah,
happen.
Everyone into the pit lane, everyone on a fresh tire, apart from Viral and I think Jules Valentine had a used hard available to him only.
Yeah.
But I think he was also in the pits.
Yeah.
So now it's a hard 1-2 led by followed by Aussie, Viral, and Maxi. Lucas and Owais with penalties hanging over their heads. Then Action Rig currently in 8th. With Kaiser and Jules Valentine also with penalties. I believe Kaiser and Lucas are, time penalties. And then Owais and Jules Valentine with the drive-throughs.
Yeah. I mean, so they're all bunched up again. And it should be interesting towards the end. There's the huge advantage that the 2 Haas cars had that has now been, you know, just vaporized. I cursed ass. It's all my fault.
Well, I think we both had put some commentators curse for a safety car there.
A little bit, but makes the race interesting, so I don't mind. So there's a second victim to the turn 4 wall in this race that we know of. Quite possibly has been more. And we've also seen 2...
It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
The day that track got added, I thought, oh fuck, that's going to be an issue for the next 10 years. That corner.
And especially with the ground effect cars, this curb on the left-hand side, very bad.
I remember F1 2021, Saudi.
I don't know how it would.
Of course, you're a child, so let me talk about the days gone past for a bit here. When they added Saudi in F1 2021, the track was not built IRL yet.
Yeah.
So they didn't have anything to go off. And what they did was they essentially painted the curbs on just paint. It was just paint. There was no curbs on the outside of the white line, and then there was another white line behind the curbs, and that white line behind the curb was the track limit.
Great.
So essentially, every single Saudi hot lap looked like you were taking the absolute piss on track limits. It was great, and that massive curb on the end of the S section also was not there. I loved Saudi on F1 2021 so much, and then when they made the track the way it is has been built in real life with those big curbs and the white line where it is. I don't know why they did that, why they put the white line behind the curbs. There's not a single track anywhere where it's like that.
But that's fun, so I don't mind.
Yeah, that was so fun. It was great.
Yeah.
It felt like realistic track limits almost, because obviously back in those days as well, the track limit... Oh, safety car's been called in so late.
Yeah, it always goes
Enough
quite
yap.
late at the pit lane. Oh, no, why don't
Kaiser and Jules Valentine have not caught up either.
No, the game doesn't always give you the chance to do it. I don't think the game actually bases it off whether people catch up, because I've seen people being caught up. Anyway, Flavors is in control of when he goes here. There's only 8 cars to contend with behind him, or 7 behind him. And he goes, accelerates away, and Bazooka does give him a nice buffer, but he's under pressure now from Viral and Aussie, possibly losing 2 places in 1. Viral on the inside, moves back up into 2nd place ahead of Bazooka, who couldn't do anything to hold him up for his teammate. Viral now will be driving with vengeance to try and make up for the mistake he made earlier. And can he close back up to Flavors? He's a second behind, gets a little bit on the curve, and that's going to cost him some time. 1.5 seconds now. Can he get back into the DRS and challenge Flavors for this race win?
An absolute hell of a restart by Viral, but it won't get him all that much if Flavors keeps driving away. And Flavors has got a great gap ahead of him, or behind him now, of 1.8 seconds. So Viral's going to really need to put his foot down. And yeah, he has to gain 8 tenths essentially to get back towards Flavors. And he has to make sure that he does that before Bazooka and Aussie get the DRS on him and start attacking him. Because then, of course, that will slow him down significantly.
Bazooka's main aim, really, is going to be to just hold up Viral as much as he can and just play the wingman to Flavors at this point. Because I can't see a world, apart from having more safety cars, in which he beats Flavors in this race. So he just needs to do all he can to ensure that Haas take the 25 points home. And Viral, so far, doesn't seem to have enough to close that gap down as it grows to 2 seconds, 2.1, as they come into the final corner. Flavors at this point just needs to keep his head down and try to hold on.
Bazooka's burning some oil tech dominator. I think he wants to attack Viral in the first corner, but he will run out of road, I think, before he gets to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has to settle in behind for now. Always now serving his drive-through. Valentine served his as well on the restart, since he was so far behind he could do that.
Yeah. And
now both of them back in the race essentially, but of course a full pit stop behind everybody else.
It's not quite a pit stop. It's a bit under. Bazooka goes wide there. Through turn number 4, that's going to be a track limits warning most likely, unless the game feels nice. Sometimes it just doesn't give you one. Mexico, I went off about 5 times and didn't get a single warning on the race. I don't know, sometimes the game just feels nice and doesn't enforce track limits today. Because Kart got a 9-second in Mexico, but I just didn't get a single warning.
It calculates whether you base time or not, gain time or not based on. So it takes the moment you left the track to the moment you re-enter, and it checks if you went faster from point A to point B than AI level 41, I think, did.
Well, because I went.
So if you did not gain time from there to there, and also I think if your KPH are lower, so it also checks for your momentum, you don't get a warning.
Which is funny because there was one time I just completely I'm the first one DS and got away with it. Oh, Jules Valentine's gone off at the last corner. Here comes Aussie. Oh, not the last corner, the hairpin of turn 13. Here's Aussie around the outside of Bazooka trying to move past up into that 3rd place, and I think he's got it done. But he won't have the battery now to challenge Viral down into turn 1. Bazooka might try to come back to him into turn 1. He's not going to be quite close enough. Aussie covers the middle of the track, and that's all he needs to do. And Flavors still pulling away by a bit less on the last lap, but 2.5 seconds clear now. Surely there's no way he loses that gap, besides if he puts it into the wall.
We said that last time, and then someone brought the safety car, so this race is definitely far from over. Viral also only 2.5 seconds back. If Flavors goes skateboarding once, the fight is on. Maxi with a 3-second penalty. He was within touching distance of that train up ahead of him, but that penalty puts him out of the fight for the podium.
Yeah.
So it's looking like we've got Viral, Aussie and Bazooka fighting for 2nd. Flavors a bit further ahead, up in 1st. Jules Valentine back in the pit lane again. I imagine he got damage on that spin of his.
Quite possibly.
He's having a tough evening for sure, but he's playing at some points, well, not some. singular point for it.
The end. Goes back onto a scrub medium, does your
you get points if you DNF as well.
As long as he goes far enough to reach the classification.
If there are 10 people turning up and you DNF at turn 1, you get the point.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Because normally you have to
so how he's always done it.
Go far enough to be classified, but...
yeah, that's how it works would work IRL, I think.
Oh, yeah,
you don't get points if you DNF in P8 or whatever.
Yeah.
But we give points as well to anyone who...
Fair enough.
Did not finish in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, in real life...
Because they finished in the top 10, but they specifically did not finish.
Yeah, in real life you have to do 90% of the race to be classified. And...
Was it 90?
I think it's 90 in real life.
I had 75 in mind, but that's for the full points.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, 3.3 seconds is Flavor's gap out front, and he's just stretching.
Yeah, it's growing every lap.
Yeah.
Great pace by Flavors.
I think Viral is now more focused in his mirrors than in the distance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at this point, Flavors is 3 seconds gone, there's 4 laps to go.
Yeah.
He would have to start gaining roughly, not quite a second a lap, but
yeah,
but probably a second lap actually, because he also needs some time to overtake him then. And considering Flavors has been faster the last 2 laps, that's just not going to happen. So the smart thing to do is to put your focus towards the cars behind you, defend that second place, and get the points for a championship fight, especially with Mihai, scoring absolutely 0 today.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity, even if you finish second, well, to make up a great haul of points, presumably 18 on Mihai.
Yeah. And he just needs to hang on.
Aussie, I think, is about to overtake Viral for second place here, and Viral is not got a whole lot he can do against that. The DRS advantage simply too big. Although he is actually there on the outside.
The final corner, and he will get the DRS now into turn 1, and I think he might just be able to hold on to that place with Maxi getting a lot closer to the back of this train. Obviously, he does have the 3 seconds, but can always be there.
Bazooka might take this chance now with Aussie not having DRS, but he's a little bit too far back.
Yeah. Maxi being 1.6 behind this train, you know, the gap is fluctuating, 1.2 now. It's possible for him to get involved if something goes drastically wrong for one of these guys. As Flavors continues to extend his lead, Viral just holding on second place. It's the only battle left on the track, really, is this second down to 5th, with Maxi just hovering around 1 second now.
Otherwise, has been catching back up to the Kaiser. We've got a yellow flag for Jules Valentine.
Yeah. And it is definitely possible that we see Maxi getting involved in this fight, but he's just a tiny bit outside it. But if someone else, if someone else picks up a 3 second, this is game on.
There also is a battle for P6 and P7, and that's all I mean. Action Rig, 2.3 seconds back from Lucas, with Lucas having a 3 second penalty. So they're having a bit of a time trial competition right now.
Yeah.
Lucas trying to get Action Rig out of the 3 second range. Action Rig train is staying inside it.
Maxi is into the DRS, but there's only going to be so much he can do.
Yeah, he's quite low on ES, got a penalty or hanging over his head as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe he can get involved and then maybe annoy Bazooka a bit to get some heat off Aussie. But in terms of his own race, he's not got a whole lot to fight for here. Viral!
He did jump that wall on the left-hand side, but he's going to be okay.
No damage, but he has a terrible run now. And here goes Maxi, and Bazooka, I think, will follow through.
If Bazooka can get past Viral, it'll be a massive change in the fight for second place. The mid-contact bashing through turn 1. Viral's just about going to hold on in that third place.
Oh, but the run into turn 3, look at that. Viral's completely out of the
inside. Has he made that move work? Yes, he has. Viral goes off, and now being in 4th place is in a lot of trouble.
And Viral got caught completely napping. He had ERS. He just didn't use it. But Bazooka makes a big mistake there, and that's Aussie gone.
1.3 seconds clear. Always gets a 3 second, which is going to cost him against.
And here comes Viral back up the inside of Bazooka. Doesn't want to just settle in behind and wait for the DRS odds coming up, and he goes right back up the inside.
But now it's a second.
He wants to try and get back towards Aussie.
Yeah, but 1.5 seconds isn't going to be a catchable margin realistically when he doesn't have the ERS, unless Bazooka will go back past him.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused why I went for that move like that, because with the DS, he maybe could have slingshot himself into the DS on Aussie, and now Bazooka is in the position to do that. And Bazooka will probably re-overtake Viral, get the DRS on Aussie, and then have a good chance of holding on against Viral for the last laps.
It's down to it's below a second. Viral is faster. He's got back in to the DRS of Aussie, and Bazooka's not going to be close enough to go for it into this last corner. So he is going to hold So Viral will get the DRS and hold on to that 3rd place, and now it'll be making sure he can save up battery for that last lap, and then to go for it on Aussie. There's an M plate there on the left-hand side, which I believe is
probably Jules Valentine. He had a yellow flag when he pit.
Yeah, now Viral is back up into 3rd place, only being half a second behind Aussie. And so, he should have the opportunity to put the foot down and try to go back past with DRS, although
Aussie a little tap on the wall.
Aussie's a lot faster in Sector 1. I think Viral has gone very low on the wings, because he just seems to struggle so much in Sector 1.
It would explain how he got back past Bazooka that easily, and then actually stayed ahead from the DRS on as well.
Yeah.
But then again, that would be weird how easily Bazooka got him. Like, that's such a weird spot to go for a move, because Bazooka was not even alongside out of the first 2 corners, just rocketed past Viral. Viral left his ES and none all the way, and Viral with a 3-second penalty! He definitely cut that chicane as well. That warning was well deserved.
Why would you, if you knew you were on 2 warnings, why would you do that? Unless that was a
he just messed up. It wasn't on purpose.
No, but he, like, after he went off, he then just completely cut off the rest of the chicane. Obviously he wasn't trying to cut it, but he didn't try to avoid the warning once he went off.
Oh, he goes so late on the brakes up the inside, and Aussie looking for the switchback.
Aussie hits the wall,
doesn't get it, and has a horrible run.
Yeah, so
but he's far enough away from Bazooka that he's going to be able to hold on to P3, and now he gets the DRS from Viral on this last lap, and that will give him a great chance to hold on to that 3rd place on track, 2nd place on penalties.
But
essentially, in this train, it's Viral and Maxi who are fighting, but they've got 2 cars between them. Aussie and Bazooka, who are also fighting each other. And Jules Valentine with his, what, like 8th pit stop by now?
Something like that. And you could check. I'm sure it'll be...
6.
Only 6, okay, not too bad.
Only?
Yeah. Just that, I don't know, surely in that situation, Viral would slow down when you go off the track if you're on 2 warnings.
It doesn't mean you give up P2 completely, but well, the penalty also does that, so...
Yeah, and it wouldn't, I don't feel like it would cost him it completely, it would just mean he can't get past on that lap. And then he could come back on the last lap as he's... I don't know, but surely now... With that 3 seconds,
Aussie, I think, is far enough away from Bazooka. Bazooka has got a bit of ES over him, but not enough to make up 5 tenths.
Unless that penalty for Viral can be removed. Like, unless he got a warning he thinks...
Yeah, I'm not sure if he had a removal warning earlier, but as we head into the last corner here, Flavors, what a drive he's had after that restart. Well, before that restart as well.
7 seconds again.
But the gap he had was taken away, and he's built it right back up, and even more. As he comes to the last corner, and once again, it is Flavors who wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and takes the championship lead here in F1 Total Division 3. What a race he's had, once again, like I said. Viral now through the last corner, he will get P2 on track. The penalty will drop him behind Aussie and Bazooka, who takes his first podium in Division 3. Maxi brings the car home in 5th, a good result for Sauber as well, 2nd and 5th. Haas 1st and 3rd. Both of the Constructors' Championship contenders pulling ahead of Williams here, with Lucas having a very strong race as well in P7. Action Rig with a great 6th place. Always, after the drive-through penalty, recovers to P8. The Kaiser through the last corner will bring the car home in 9th for 2 points for himself and for Aston Martin. And then finally, Jules Valentine, a lap down. I think going for the fastest lap here, but probably not enough. I think he only pit on this lap, so yeah, it's not going to happen. Brings the car home in 10th. Valiant effort to keep going after all the incidents he's had throughout this race, and has been rewarded with a point.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because unless Viral can get that penalty removed, and he's just really cost himself that, dropping down to P4. There's another good, very strong win from Flavors. 7 seconds in the end. Aussie, 2nd place, Bazooka 3rd. Double podium for Haas means they now lead both championships. Flavors will be about 10 points clear in the drivers, roughly. And then Haas will be about 10 clear in constructors as well, from the very quick mental calculations I did. Maybe more like 5 in the constructors. I'm just estimating from what the gap roughly was. Yeah, then Varro P4, Maxi P5, Action Rick, Lucas Owise, the Kaiser, and Jules Valentine being the finishers. Marcelio, then most notably Mihai and Dylan, the 3 non-finishers in this race. And another enjoyable race from Div 3. And really not had a Borefest this season. I can't think of any. Bahrain next week will be a little bit less fun, I'd imagine. But still won't be too bad. It's not the most... I don't know, but Bahrain's just kind of a circuit that's there. It's not bad. At least that's my view on it, at least. It can be good for racing. But it can also... But Bahrain's like a 50-50 sort of track, I reckon.
Bahrain usually is a good one to watch.
Yeah.
I don't really like driving it, but to watch, it's a good racing track. Actually, IRL, one of my favorites on the game. I have too much pain when I'm driving it to even enjoy watching it all that much, but it produces great racing. You get some nice overtakes. Also interesting strategies, because the 2-stop at Bahrain is very much viable, so it creates a few more opportunities to under and overcut. The 1-stop is technically possible, I'm sure, but even on an esports level, tough, very, very tough to pull off. So we should be seeing 2-stops next week, mostly.
Yeah, so that'll make it interesting, for sure. And then the week after that is Kota with the sprint. I'm not going to be there next week, am I? I forgot.
Yeah, you said you wouldn't be there for...
Oh, that's a shame. I forgot about that, to be honest. Yeah, so you can have fun doing Bahrain on your own.
Yeah, you all have to put up with me. Only me.
Probably.
I don't know, maybe Sully or Simoni or Phantom. Sure, I'll get someone to join me.
We have enough people for Division 3 that you shouldn't be too lonely. But yeah, I don't mind missing Baku too much. Like, as the calendar Bahrain, sorry, as the calendar goes, it's not, it's one of the tracks I'm least excited for. It's not a bad track. It's just
I'm quite excited for.
It's not the most. It's not a track that sort of like jumps out to me as that will be a banger. But it very much could be, but it's not one that immediately jumps out to me as a good-looking track, like as a track that will be great. But I don't know. It could be a good race. Could be, and most races have been good, so it'll probably be quite fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the rest of the season. Set up very nicely for a good title fight. Mihai now has to fight back into it, as Flamers and Rival have both pulled ahead. Aussie gained a good amount of points today as well.
Yeah.
Finishing in second place then. So he's also now very much in the fight.
Yeah.
Because he's still quite far behind Flavors, but it's a gap that is very much possible to overcome. If Flavors has or misses a race or something like that, or has a DNF just like that, that could be a race where Aussie gets 25 points on him, and just like that, it's a points gap that just completely disappears. So yeah, we are set up for a great end to the season, and you definitely shouldn't be missing any races from here on out.
I think the thing is, I think, I think Viral should be. I don't know. I feel like Viral should be winning most races. He just kind of has a tendency to bottle a little bit at the moment. Like, obviously, the crash today was a big. It was just a. It was a big moment to have crashed there, and then that seemed to have knocked his confidence in the second stint, because he just couldn't really replicate the pace he had. And after that, all the confidence seemed to be gone, because he was never really up at the pace he had before that crash. Just never seemingly recovered.
Yeah, it can knock your confidence a little bit, stuff like that.
Yeah. For sure, yeah. You just don't want to do it again, and that leads to you not wanting to push as hard, and that leads to your pace being not quite as good. But and he'll be back next week for sure. Like and you saw his pace in Silverstone. Obviously, that was massively helped by the wet race, but it was still incredibly strong. And there are a decent few tracks still that it could rain at. Obviously, it's highly unlikely it will rain in Bahrain, but Kota, Hungary, Australia, Monaco, Japan, Brazil could quite easily rain in all of them. I don't know how the game does probability of wet races, but I feel like every Japan race I ever see is wet. I have no idea how it's calculated, because there are just some tracks that clearly are more likely to have rain. Like, even out of the... Because you've got the desert tracks, which basically never have it. But then there's, like, in the tracks where it can rain, I feel like some rain more often.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same chance as it has IRL. Every track in the game code somewhere has a chance of rain, I believe.
Yeah, I
this is
so.
how it will be coded. And it will be based on how often it rains there during the real-life Grand Prix, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it's calculated, is basically what I'm saying. But there must be some tracks that are more likely to rain than others. Anyway, but... So, the championship is... It's still close. Because Flavors has gone from 3rd to 1st. And Viral has gone from 2nd to 2nd, Mihai 1st down to 3rd. And Aussie not being too far away. Constructors still close as well. Haas now lead. Followed by Sauber, followed by Williams, who did not have... Red Bull gain on Williams, I assume, but not all that much. But the main thing is just making sure anything could change in the last part of the season, and I think the last thing really for me is that just make sure you're there for the rest of the season, because this should be fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
It's not me saying that because next week, but
Yeah. Telling everyone else to be there and you won't be there. That's crazy. But I'm sure you'll be back for the sprint. You surely won't miss that in Kota.
I'm not missing Kota sprint. I hate driving the track, but first of all, it's a sprint, and it's always a fun track to watch. Yeah, but do you have anything left to say before we just finish off?
No, I think I've said all I have to say. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, and so that will be it for Division 3 here in Saudi. It's been a fun race in the end, quite chaotic, and good win from Flavors. Strong drive from Aussie and Bazooka as well. And same thing again tomorrow night, hopefully. And then we go to Sunday, also racing here. Sunday will probably be quite a different profile of race to today and tomorrow, but...
yeah, because Sunday will be RRL F1 2020.
Saturday.
It's F1 Total D1.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But yeah, so Saturday should be a little bit of a different profile compared to these two, but still, chaotic track, anything can happen.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Us wannabe sweats also have our crashes.
And then, the week after, we got Bahrain. But pretty much that is going to be it for Division 3 tonight. Thank you for watching the stream,